Hey everyone, welcome back to the Studio, and today for the brand new video for you guys, I am going to be reviewing High School Musical, the musical, the series, Season 2, Episode 7, titled The Field Trip. This was probably the best episode of the season, in my opinion. Maybe not of the series. I've seen a lot of different controversy about this episode. Very mixed feelings about it, but I personally liked it. I think there was a lot of good, big, shocking reveals, as well as some character development, and there's a few things that I'll talk about later that I didn't necessarily enjoy, but overall, I think this was just a really good episode. We're midway into the season right now. This is technically the mid-season premiere, if you want to call it that. So, and I'm glad that we're getting a lot more music. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in. So, Gina and EJ are doing the morning announcements for East High, and I just think this is really sweet because I just do really like their connection together. I think that ever since last season, we see that they have good chemistry, whether it's platonic or romantic. You can see that they just kind of have this cool middle ground that makes them easy to root for together. Now, they kind of do this fake dating thing a little bit later on in the episode, and I'll talk about that when we get to it, but I just think having them as co-anchors, I think, is pretty cool. They interview Nene about the Rose song, which was pretty cool too. I like seeing like new characters interacting with each other. I mean, I know that these are 3 out of like the main 4. I mean, it's not like EJ's like a main character now, but these are 3 out of the 4, so it's not necessarily like branching it out too much, but it's still nice to see them because I don't think these 3 have ever shared a scene together, just the 3 of them. So yeah, but you can see that Ricky's kind of watching the announcements. You can just see that he's kind of just bothered by the lyrics of this Rose song. And I think it's mainly because Nene was looking for independence. She felt kind of possessed, like Ricky was kind of possessing her, and she had the right to feel that way. I mean, she had the right to sing that song with all of her heart and passion and sing it to Courtney and change the meaning of the song. She had the right to do that, considering how Ricky was acting. But I kind of do understand how Ricky's I think he kind of has the right to be upset just because, you know, it almost seems like his girlfriend's trying to tell him something without actually telling it to him. And I think it's because these 2 are still teenagers. I've seen a lot of controversy on Reddit about this. These 2 are still teenagers. They're trying to figure themselves out. So although you might not like a decision that they made, you still can't blame them, like, fully out-blame them. I mean, yeah, they're like sophomores, these 2, so no need to do that. I mean, I'm not like necessarily casting blame on anyone specifically, but I just see a lot of people complaining about Ricky, not just on Reddit, but other places. Okay, so moving on, we see the costumes are finished. Courtney has done a great job with them, and I think it's just really sweet, you know? It's really sweet how Courtney has her place here, and Howie keeps texting her, and you can just tell that at least at the start of the episode, she's happy with Howie. But then they see that their beast mask has been stolen, and of course, Carlos posted the Rose song, and apparently Nene was fine with it, even though I'm not a big fan of Carlos this episode, or even this season at all, just because I feel like he's kind of just being annoying. He's not treating Seb correctly. He definitely didn't need to post Nene's Rose song. It just wasn't good characteristics for him. But moving on, okay, so we have the Beast Mask is stolen, so they go to North High. Miss Jen is going to meet with Zach, and these characters, Gina's on the lookout, and the rest of them going to the drama department to try to find their Beast Mask. And then while Gina's out in the hallway, a North High student approaches her and starts flirting with her. But then EJ comes up, and they kind of do this like fake dating thing to try to get this person out of the way so they won't get caught. But of course, Lily recognizes them. Now I gotta say, it was really cute how EJ was the one that came up with the idea, because you wouldn't think that EJ as senior would be the main one, the main one catching feelings for Gina, a sophomore first. You wouldn't think that way because there's a 2-year age gap, which I think is one of the reasons why this ship just isn't necessarily like, that's probably one of their weaknesses, is that they have 2 years age difference. I mean, not necessarily that's like a bad thing, but like, you know, just now it's kind of weird. So yeah, they kind of do their fake dating, but then Lily catches them, so then she immediately goes into the department, and they find everyone there talking, and they couldn't find the Beast Mask, but Lily challenges everyone to a good old-fashioned dance-off to one of the songs of Beauty and the Beast. At first, East High just kind of forfeits, but then they decide to, just so they can show North High something. Meanwhile, Miss Jen confronts Zach, saying that she doesn't want East High and North High to pit against each other, and they sing a dance to, it was a fun song, I gotta say. it's not that, like, I mean, these two, they do have chemistry. I mean, there's, like, good chemistry. I think I did really like their performance. And was it a dance off, or was it really just, like, a romantic, like, all over the place dance? Because it could be either. I don't think it was I mean, I think the point of it was to be a dance off, but I think and they were holding hands a little bit too much for that to be a competitive dance off. Just saying. But yeah, my thoughts on this. It's interesting. It's interesting, honestly, just to see these two. After all of these after all this history, still be kind of accepting of one another. It's just like an interesting way to go. Okay. So then we kind of cut to the dance off, and this Antony or Antone guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's the let's see, Gaston or Lumiere. I don't remember which one he's playing for North High. But then we see that he's kind of flirting with Ashlyn, which is pretty funny. He's like, well, you should dump that guy and start dating me. It's so stupid. Like, the worst line ever to say that. He was so straightforward. The look at Ashlyn's face was hilarious. She was just so confused and surprised. And I think it's interesting because I feel like they just have, like, an odd relationship. It's a sweet relationship, but you just wouldn't think it would happen, and I think that's what makes it even more unique and how it's just very interesting. And I kind of wish we just have gotten more of that. I feel like we haven't just gotten much of these cute moments. Yeah, I mean, sure, they have little, like, feel-good moments, like 1 or 2 every episode, but we still haven't gotten much development from them as a couple, and I think this is going to be the start of them, like, deepening their relationship. So yeah, we have that going on, and then Lily confronts Ricky. Pretty much saying that it sounds like your girlfriend wants some space, this is the scene from the trailer. She's pretty much saying that based on the lyrics that were in the Rose song all about independence, that maybe Nene wants some space, and Lily tells Ricky, let me know if you're looking for a girlfriend who doesn't. So, very interesting. Do I think this is actually going to be something? I doubt it. I feel like Ricky's not going to give up on Nene just like that, although I'll talk about them in a little bit. Okay, but Lily is definitely just a very interesting villain here. I still don't know what to think of her. Okay, so then we had the dance-off that was really well shot. It was awesome, honestly. They're dancing to the Mob song, which is, I think... I don't remember Beauty and the Beast that much. I don't remember the specific songs. Of course, I have story parts that I like, but apparently the Mob song is one of the most hated songs of Beauty and the Beast, so that's why Lily was so disappointed when it landed on that. So I guess at least she didn't, like, cheat and, like, shuffle another one. I guess at least she didn't do that, but I mean, I personally, I hate to say this, but I think that North High won that battle, and I think people could disagree about that, but I just feel like they just had the way better they had the way better, like, moves and stuff like that, and if only Gina was in it more, I think they would have won, because Gina has the best dance move out of everyone in the drama department, I gotta say. And it was really well, yeah, again, it was really well shot, the lighting was good, and it really just felt like it kind of felt like Beauty and the Beast in a way. It felt like a Beauty and the Beast production watching. It actually felt professional. I'm really hoping that when we get to, the show that is professional, but it just looks really fun, honestly, and I'm probably one of their, I mean, it's a dance-off, we haven't gotten many of those, but probably one of the better dances that we've gotten, like, show dances that we've gotten on the show. But of course, Lily pretty much declares that North High is the won that battle, which they probably did. But then Ricky kind of just starts to talk bad about Nene. It's weird. Like, he pretty much says maybe the lyrics didn't fit, like, into the show, like, what they were trying to say, because it wasn't about Belle and the Beast. And kind of, like, taken from what Lily said. I mean, he kind of, like, takes those words and just says them, and Nene just really gets upset. And it's weird because, you know, I get that Ricky has these commitment issues, but I just still don't really feel like he has the right just to judge Nene like that. I mean, he really just said some kind of, like, cruel things to her this episode. I mean, cruel in, like, teenage fashion, but pretty much he's judging her for what those lyrics really meant, and I think he wants to know, but Nene's like, it's just a song, but Ricky obviously thinks that's more what, it really is more deep down. Like, it really is more, like, what she wants to do, and I'll talk about that in a second. So yeah, and then Lily says that the Rose song cannot be performed because it's kind of already been released to the public, so why would they release it in the first place? Which is a good point, but anyways, moving on to talking about before Miss Jen and Zach can dance to another song, she finds out that Zach is the one who stole the Beast mask. So, an interesting twist. It does not surprise me. I think we all knew that someone stole it. But it's interesting that we thought that maybe like this Lily girl would be the main villain, but I think it's going to be equal. I think it's going to be it's going to be equal. It's going to be Zach and Lily. I think they're both just going to be working together, and they're both going to be villains in this case. And while it's not necessarily good, it's intriguing, and I think it's going to be interesting just to see that kind of like move along in the course of the rest of the season. So yeah, that's also revealed. So that's revealed. And then we get Ashlyn and Big Red are also having some interesting troubles. He's kind of just jealous of this Aunt Tony guy flirting with Ashlyn, and Ashlyn tries to convince Big Red's not, but he's obviously not having it. So I don't know why they're trying to drive a wedge between them, just because I feel like they're probably one of the best relationships in the show. But yeah, I don't know what this is going to go, if it's actually going to be like a full-on love triangle. I really hope not. So then, it is revealed, the biggest plot twist of the episode is that Howie is playing Beast for North High. Pretty good reveal, honestly. I feel bad for Courtney, just because she probably thinks that Howie betrayed her, but I do think they'll still work out by the end. But what is this gonna mean? Like, so many different possibilities. Like, how is this gonna affect their relationship, of course? How is this going to affect, because Howie has already kind of been seen to not be a traitor to East High students because he delivered them the pizza in the storm, but then he just kind of turned his back on everyone, kind of. So it's going to be interesting to see what his plan is. Why did they recruit him? Is this more recently, or has this been done for a while? Is it because Lily was like spying at the pizza shop and she saw Courtney and Howie getting close and she wanted to twist things up? I don't know. But then we see that Nene decides to start an Instagram page for her music, and she introduces herself as Nina. Remember, Nene is the nickname that Ricky gave her, so now because she's officially going by Nina, it kind of means that she's breaking away from Ricky, trying to like let herself go. That's what I took from it. So yeah, a lot happened this episode. You can comment down below, what did you think of this episode, because I still think it was very well done. I am going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. Really good episode. Best one of the season, definitely. So anyways, I want to thank everyone for watching my studio. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications to see your next video. Thanks for watching, and bye.